What's up guys, welcome back to Just Over, and today we have another cruise video. I'm not doing a cruise or anything, but here, if you are doing a cruise or you're looking at doing a cruise, here are some top tips. I'm going to give you 10 tips you will need to, that can really benefit you on the cruise when you go on your next cruise, and this can also be applied to river cruises as well. And there will be a video comparing the differences between the river cruise and the cruise ship. As you can tell, there is a significant difference in looks and stuff. And yeah, so my first top tip is if you are on a sea day at the start of your cruise, so you immediately embark onto your cruise and you're hit with a sea day, I highly recommend using that full day at sea to get to know your surroundings. So use the time stuck on that boat, that ship, to actually I actually got one of the cruise ships at hand, which is really annoying. Unless it's just buried somewhere. Yes, there is. I'll just steal my chef for a minute. So say if you started off your cruise with a sea day here, instead of going straight to the pools as such, I highly recommend getting to learn your way around it, because I know on QM2 or Queen Mary 2 part on Cunard, there's some bizarre corridors you've got to go around, like to get around like your restaurants and stuff, and that can be really complicated if you've got no idea where you're going. So if you're on a sea day, get to know your surroundings on the ship, get your way around it, because if you get lost, you'll need to immediately know where you are and stuff, because it's very easy to get lost on these. Another thing is and you do embark on embarkation day. That is a handful today. I highly recommend taking swimmies into your carry-on. So pack swimmies into your carry-on case, basically your hand luggage. So basically the thing is here, so when you get your cabin, you will not immediately get your luggage, and you can sort of see where I'm about to go with this. Embarkation day is the day to get in the swimming pool, because not many people will have the swimmies, and so therefore they won't be able to go in the swimming pool. So if you do end up in this, so that is a good day to try out the swimming pool, because nobody will be having literally hardly anyone will have the swimmies on them. Pack your swimmies in your carry on, so you can get in the pool, and you can use the swimming pool on embarkation day. Also, your third top tip is to make friends, and this could be really peculiar, because you may be on a ship you could be back on one of these with people who you don't know, and also if they've done cruises before and you're on your cruise for your first time, and if they've done the exact same cruise before, you can get to talk to them and talk about the excursions and stuff, and to see if there's an excursion you fancy doing. Because like I know there's ones where it's like there's cruises that go to like Barcelona and stuff, and if it's an excursion, just learn your surroundings, or simply just walk into town, because the cruise mainly dock into town. Like I know Liverpool dock just south of and I know Liverpool dock, I literally dock just to the right of the Liver building. I've seen on Mein Schiff 3 docked in Liverpool. I will link it up there as well. And yeah, so get to talk to people and get to learn your excursions and stuff. Now your next one. It's just like one that's basically designed for the 21st century. Check the Wi-Fi. Because some cruises, if you've done cruises before, some might have free Wi-Fi, other ones you've done, but you may board a cruise and you might end up having to pay for it and not realise. Yes, I know I've been talking to people and they have exactly done the exact same thing, done cruise. I want to do a cruise now. And I've seen videos where people have done cruises, and They'll not check the Wi-Fi if it's free or not. On TUI, most Marella or Mineshaft cruises do have free Wi-Fi, and each cruise will be stated whether it is free Wi-Fi, and always double check because you don't fancy paying your £9 a day for your Wi-Fi. And another one is if it's all inclusive. It's like a silly one. All inclusive. Make full use of that buffet. Flexi dining. If your ship does come with flexi dining means just turn up whenever you want, basically. Also abide by dress codes. I will move on to that very soon. With this. Where the fuck's all the cruise ships gone? And I'll get to that in a minute. You will understand why. But yeah, flex dining, make full use of the buffet. Use full use. Make yourself at home. Go full out on the facilities and just basically just have a good time. Your next one is if you're adopting an excursion and if you're given a sailing time, you're sailing away from that port. Yes, they're called sailaways. And you sail away, and if the cruise staff say you're leaving at that time, say it says you're leaving at 9 o'clock at night, that ship is leaving at 9 o'clock at night. And if it's not like in the package, like TUI have like talking to TUI, TUI have packages where the cruise is in the impact where they will wait for you, but you'll get some where they don't wait, and if it says you're leaving at that time, that ship is leaving whether you're on it or not. And then you just throw your luggage off and then basically bye bye, and they just leave you. So please get to your ship at the correct time. I could not say that anymore, because my grandparents have done cruises and have said they've literally witnessed people just being left behind because they've not got there on time. Always get to your cruise, back to your ship slightly earlier or at the set time because of traffic and stuff, because some cruises will not wait. And another one is dress codes. Always pay attention to stick to your dress codes. This does suggest for all cruises, but mainly this is Cunard, because on a formal night, that is at 6 o'clock at night, that dress code is ship wide. So basically pretend I've got the Queen Mary 2 somewhere from Cunard, and at 6 o'clock that dress code is throughout that rule stands for the entire ship, no matter where you are apart from your cabin. Yep. So make sure you bring the correct dress wear for those formal nights. And throughout the day, those dress codes do not apply. It's only 6 p.m. where they do become on formal nights. So always read when you've got formal nights and informal nights. Although the informal nights, I have been told, are still quite formal, but you're not in your dicky bows and tuxedos and stuff on the formal nights. Although I would love to do a Cunard cruise and experience the entire formal stuff of it, but me in a suit don't go down well, so that's the only downfall. Although next year there will be I can guarantee this, there is a Cunard video next year, because I'm not going to tell you more, just think that in mind. There will be a Cunard video next year, or a few. And so that is your dress code. Also, you will get cruises that are more relaxed. So if you are more looking at a family friendly cruise, don't go for Cunard, because that is just a no-go. If you want a family friendly cruise, I do suggest like TUI, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Fred Olsen, all those ones, do not go for Cunard if you're with families, because their target audience is more of an older generation. So for the slightly older people who are more into the formal stuff and that, and you like cruising, that is like what Cunard's there for. It's not really for the younger generation, although we do tend to do it just to see what it's like. And they said the food's amazing and stuff and all that, but always look at the dress codes beforehand. Your next one is oh fuck is make oh no, what for done dress codes. That's another one. Smoking is strictly forbidden throughout the ship. Ship-wise is strictly forbidden, unless, because they will have designated smoking points, but you've seen on the news and that smoking on cruise ships don't go down well, and they will literally, and that ship will literally turn into a floating bomb. If a cigarette goes off, that entire, like, there's been videos where there's like a cigarette gone off in one of these, and the entire side's just gone up in flames. Yes, that's another one. Also, we are still in a world where COVID does exist, so make sure you do a negative test the day before you embark, the day you embark, and also the day you disembark and the day you get home, because you may be flying and stuff. And to make sure you are negative and you're not bringing that onto the ship, because you've heard those viruses spread through ships like a bullet going through a gun, going through air. Literally, they are that quick, viruses in ships. So make sure you're very hygiene, you stay on top of your hygiene, you wash your hands when you've gone to the toilet. I've seen it where people don't and stuff. Make sure you are on top of your hygiene, because viruses will spread through cruise ships literally faster than Usain Bolt can run the 100 meters. That's how quick viruses can spread on cruise ships. Also, on a lighter note, make sure you make full usage. Take the entertainment to the advantage. Get to know your staff. Take that to the advantage as well, because literally your staff could not have seen their families in over a few months, and if you just give them give them a little hello, or have a nice little conversation with them, that would really lighten their mood. Always talk to your staff, and the entertainment, especially on Marella, is ridiculously good. And I've heard people rave about it and stuff. They put on a different show every night. How the hell they do that, I've got no idea. But always take the entertainment, even entertainment, to the advantage. And also on formal nights, I will give you some rules on the formal nights as well at the end. Should have done that with the formal night section, but yeah, that's how the world works. And yeah, so always talk to your staff as well, because they won't be seeing their families in a while, and if you talk to them, they'll probably be friendly and that, and you can have a little conversation about them, learn about the ship and stuff, the ship's history, because I know the Marella Discovery 2 that my cousin's best mate and his dad is currently on. I am fuming about that. I am ridiculously jealous. Literally, it's like we're younger than me, and it's already done more cruises than me. I'm so jealous about that. But yeah, learn about the ship, because that is actually an Expo Caribbean, and also tell you a way of how to identify and put to the cruise ship's name, and to the cruise ship company. Like, if it's a Queen, it's Cunard. If it's Blank of the Seas, they shook all that in. Next time Royal Caribbean suggesting, I'm gonna put that Blank of the Seas, because that'll be so funny. And yeah, so learn about the ship's history and stuff. Yeah, because there's actually these. Because you may see a ship and it looks, oh, that looks nice, but it could be completely, it's a shame ship could look completely different. Like, it can change companies and stuff. Learn about your ships, because it can be quite interesting to learn about these things. These, because I know they look like floating hotels, but they will be quite learn to learn about. So just learn about your ship's history and stuff. Now, dining. If your ship has a set dining time, you need to be at that restaurant at that time. And that's why on the sail day, say on your first set, if it's a sea day, on your first, get to know your surroundings. Because if you're at one end of the ship and the main restaurant's right at the other end, and you've got no idea, you could miss your set dining time. That's another reason why I've suggested that at the start. So you know where the restaurant is, so you know when to leave your cabin, and you know how long it'll take you to get there, so you know when to leave and that, so you get to your dining at that correct time. Normally, cruise ships do have a set dining time and a flexi dining time. I know in the main restaurants they tend to be set, but like the buffet and that, they are completely flexi. Just turn up whenever you want and just get what you want. And take the all-inclusive, if it's all-inclusive, take that to the advantage, because that could literally make the holiday even better on the cruise and stuff. If you've got and likes and stuff, I don't suggest a balcony cabin on your cruise ship, because there's lots to do on a cruise ship. I know it doesn't look it. Like, there's some bit from Royal Caribbean, they're gonna have roller coasters on them. Some have got climbing walls and everything, water slides and stuff. I don't suggest a balcony cabin, because you just pay more for a little bit of outside fresh air, where you can literally get an inside cabin and spend the entire time on the decks and get as much fresh air as possible. They are literally the most pointless thing on the planet, in my opinion. So if you get an inside cabin, and plus you're only in there to actually get changed for the evening meal, and like get into your swimmies and that, get into your swimmies, and basically you're only in there for like if you max out like about an hour throughout the day, and maybe 2 hours in your day, and then you're literally sleeping in it. So you literally sleep and you're in it for like 2 hours a day. So an inside cabin does seem perfect, because you're not really in your cabins that much. There is that much to do on a cruise ship, so I highly suggest booking an inside cabin, not a balcony, because you're basically paying for fresh air. Where you can go in the cabin and you're basically paying it for free. That's my opinion. Also, be careful with board games. If you are playing footy on the decks and stuff, I think they're not allowed. But if they are, if it goes overboard, you gotta wave bye bye to it, because that boat will not stop if something goes overboard. Unless someone jumps overboard, then it's legally obliged to turn around and look for you. But don't do anything like stupid and that, please. Don't like kick balls over it, because you just won't get it back. You just won't stop for it. And another thing is, on this top hat, stick to the cruise rules, the laws in cruise. Because if you do something ridiculously stupid, A, it could cost you your life, and B, it could get you kicked off your cruise, and C, it could land you jail time, and they will ban you from cruising for life, literally life. So always stick to your cruise rules. There's been times when people have jumped off the balconies and stuff, like climbing between two balconies and stuff. Just don't do any of that. If you want to keep your cruise, if you want to enjoy your cruise, just don't like break the rules or anything. Stick to them. They are there to keep you safe and stuff. Yeah. And also your Britishism for this video, yes, I'm going to introduce these, is football. If you're in America, this is soccer, and also that. but mainly we call football because you're basically kicking the ball with your foot. And also, you can see my team here. And yep, so basically I don't understand American football because you're not really using your feet, so it makes this kind of game a bit ironic. But your best is to say that is, so if we say football in the UK, that is basically our way of saying kicking the ball with your foot, because it's basically football. Or if you're around the teenage, you will say like footy and footsie and that, and like Kirby. Basically it's just all the same thing, but just kicking the ball with your foot. So yeah, and then moving on. Or if you're stuck, always ask your guides for help. They will help you. They will know these cruise ships with the back of their hand, because they spend months on them. And yep, so always get to know them. So if you're stuck, you can get to know your tour guides and stuff. Just and So if you do get stuck, you can, because I've seen it. I've been watching YouTubers on cruises and stuff where something's happened and they've been locked in a room accidentally, and they can hear their guide talking and they can communicate to them, let them know they've got stranded and stuff. Always get to know your tour guide very well. Your cruise card, if you've never done a cruise, you've never heard of this, your cruise card is your life. Picture it as your phone. Always keep your phone and your cruise card together. If you lose that cruise card, your life is over basically. Keep them on you at all times. They are ridiculously important, and they will literally they will literally help you, because they use it to pay for to do your meals and your drinks and stuff. They will sort you out. Keep it on you, and that. Keep it on you at all times. You cannot afford to lose these. And that does swiftly bring me on to my next one, is tips and stuff. Your cruises are very expensive, if you've noticed, like £1,000 for a 7-night cruise. It's actually not bad, to be honest. I've seen worse. River cruises are you're talking like £2,000 for a 5-night cruise, which is ridiculous. But yep, so your tips are included in your cruise fare, and tipping, and that is there, so you don't need to worry about tipping and stuff. I know some cruise ships do accept cash tips, but mainly it is done through the booking of the cruise, and it's given to the correct people, so you don't need to worry about that. My next tip will be just to sit back, relax, and just enjoy the cruise. Literally, I've literally lost count. I'm just going to blur it off the top of my head. Your cruise, just sit back, relax, and enjoy it. You're there to unwind and stuff. Take it in and just enjoy yourself, because it's like a once in a life. If you can only afford one cruise in your entire life, make the most of it. Have fun. Just pretend you're 17 again and just live your life on that ship and stuff. And then another thing, remember, if you do end up being late for your cruise, and if you haven't embarked yet, they will wait for you, because you've literally paid for it. And if there's like delays and stuff and you're having to fly, they do. Yeah. And I think that does include all my cruise tips, I hope. Yep, so that does, I'm literally just going to end it off there then. Yeah, if you didn't, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and have done the quiz, let me know what you've done, because I find this read in the comments. If you comment and subscribe, and I'll see you later.